Good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews, and I am your literary ambassador. And today I have David Harris on my channel today. Welcome, David. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Fine. Tell us a little about you.
I am a painting contractor. I'm also a minister. I am a veteran of the United States Navy. I just did one tour of it. It was great. I met a lot of people, got to go around the world. I am the father of two young, handsome boys. They take after me, of course. My oldest is 32, and my youngest will turn 24 in a few months. I love doing what I'm doing. I'm an author. I like writing. I've written many booklets. I've written one major book published on Amazon, and I'm getting ready to come out with my sequel real soon.
Okay. And what's your genre?
Christian fiction.
Okay. How did publishing your first book change your process of writing?
It made me think. It made me prepare a lot more than writing books, because on my website, goodbookers.net, I have books that range anywhere from, say, 4 to 18 pages. But each one of those books took me about a week to do. Now, this one I have right now, that's on Amazon, it took me over a year, almost a year and a half, a year and 3 months to be exact. And I tell you, there's homework, there's research, and the editing. Oh my goodness, the editing is hard. And first I wrote it by longhand, and I sent it to a layout artist, where she put in all the fonts and all the fancy stuff. And it taught me a lesson: patience, patience. You have to wait and get this thing right before you submit it. And it took me a long time. And most people that I know who have read it, they really, really enjoyed it. I've had people call me from coast to coast, from Virginia to Oregon State, said they loved it. They taught me for over a half hour. But that's because of hard work. Now, they're not going to tell you that the book is good just to be telling you that, but it has to be worthwhile for them to say that. It has to be worth reading. And if it's going to be worth reading, it's going to take a lot of work. You're going to have to put some time in it, and you have to be careful, because this is something you're trying to market, and you just can't put anything out there.
Bingo. What was your early experience where you learned that language had power?
I must have been about 6 years old. I was in the second grade. My teacher was Miss Moore, and we will learn how to write, and learning more about how words are structured. Started off with a capital letter, and then how you do your punctuation. And I was amazed. I said, I can get all these letters, A to Z, put it together, and convey a thought like Tom went to the store. Susie went to the store also. They bought some candy. They came back. They ate the candy. They had a good time. Something simple like that. I said, these are just all these words jumbled up together, but you make a sentence out of it, and you make sense out of it, and I can read it. And I said, if I can do this, then I could do anything. And I started out at an early age. A lot of my friends thought I was a little kooky, because I was just amazing with the English language and the English written language, while other folks just took it for granted. And I said, one day I'm going to write me a book. And sure enough, 50 plus years later, I did it.
Yes, yes. What is the best way to market your books?
I market my books truly word of mouth. I do have it listed in, I'm marketing in 3 bookstores right now. And be honest with you, it's kind of slow. But I tell you what, I like receiving those checks. They may be small, but it feels good to get a check in the mail. I also market it on social media. As a matter of fact, I just sold a couple of books the other day from a fellow who downloaded them from my website. And it's a good feeling. You have to talk to people face to face. I also go to book shows. I went to one this year. I sold a couple. And the people who got a copy of it, they said they enjoyed it. They liked the title of it. They also said they liked the idea that someone, especially a man, could write so much in detail about a woman in a Bible like that.
Oh, well, I should have had you on my panel a couple month before last, talking about the same thing. Anyway, how many hours a day do it take you to write?
Oh, it was a lot because I would get off from work. I'd come home sometime 9, 10, 11 at night. I'd take a shower. I'll sit and I'll write 3, 4 hours. And then sometime I look at it and I say, well, that's not right. It's too much because I was tired. I wasn't concentrating. I couldn't stay focused. So I just got some of the pages and just balled up, threw it away, start over. And I said, I'll spend a little bit of time. I pray a little bit, read the Bible if I didn't doze off and go to sleep. And then when I could get my thoughts together, I said, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. It sounds like something a woman would say. It sounds like something a man would say to a woman, vice versa. And based on life experience, being almost 60, I've seen people counteract with one another. I said, yeah, that'd be something a country woman would say or a country man would say. And I said, I'll put that in there. And that's what I did. It worked out. Everybody who read the book said, hey, you sound like you got life experience. I said, well, yes, I had some next door neighbors years ago, and I saw how they act with one another. And we lived out in the country where there was no running water. So we had a pump.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some did have a well. So I put that together after over 50 years of life experience and then read the Bible, coupled that together. I said, I think that'll work. And that's what's going on.
Okay, let's talk about the book. You can tell us, you can show us your book, and then tell us a little about your book. And
the book, got that?
yes.
There it is. A Song for Zipporah. Zipporah is the eldest daughter of Jethro, the priest of Midian. Now, that's a true story in the Bible. Jethro in the Bible, he had 7 daughters. Zipporah was the oldest. Her name is mentioned only 3 times in the Bible, twice in the book of Exodus, and then it's once in the book of Numbers. It also referred to her as the Ethiopian woman, but for the most part, she's mentioned just 3 times by name, Zipporah. It means little bird. The Bible doesn't say a lot about her, but I coupled her life and parallel her life with the lives of other women in the Bible. Ruth, uh, let's say Naomi, uh, Rebecca, and even Sarah. And I believe that in those days, women, they look forward to getting married, to either leave home or just to start a family, or maybe both. So I figured maybe her life was basically like that. Now, we don't know, but I guess that's why I call it Christian fiction. So if you read the story, when you read the story, you'll find out that she went through some of the same things as other women in the Bible. And what I did is she had a dream one night and she didn't understand it. What it was, God was preparing her to meet Moses one day because she was going to be the wife of Moses. If you read the story of Exodus, you'll find out that Moses met up with her at a well when some shepherds tried to drive her and her sisters off. But before that, we don't know. So I just made up a story of how life was right before that point, about 4 or 5 years, the things she went through. And being the oldest of all her sisters, she had to take care of them, be almost like a big sister, surrogate mother. Because in my story, she doesn't have a mother. Her mother died when she was a young girl, probably about 14, 15 years old. So I made that up, and then I made it almost like a burden on her back to be a big sister, to care for her sisters and her family, and to milk the cows and draw the water, and to just be a leader in the family. But you know, even when times got tough, when she was stressed all out, she found herself singing song, and that's where we get the title, "A Song for Zipporah." But it goes deeper than that, and I think you'll love it without me giving the whole story away. Those who read the book, and I know you're going to, aren't you? Those who get the book, they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to see themselves in it. And the theme of the book is behind every successful man is a good woman. And of course, we know Moses was a very successful man, but people fail to realize that he had a woman in his life, and that was Zipporah before he went back to Egypt.
What do you think make a good story?
I think it makes a good story because it empowers women, it encourages women, and it makes women think that despite where I've come from, whatever background I come from, there's something good for you waiting. It may not be a godly man like Moses or a leader like Moses. It might just be a man to be a blessing to you. He might be a man who, like Moses, had a speech impediment. Moses stuttered. But you know, you have some women who are very, very eloquent when it comes to speaking. Zipporah could have been like that. I don't know. You ever thought about that? I mean, Moses, he was slow of speech, but Zipporah, she may knew exactly what to say when he starts stuttering and couldn't get his word out. She may have said, baby, just take your time. Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're still before the burning bush. Just take a deep breath. Whatever your God told you, do it. And remember, I'll be right by your side all the way. And see, that's a good woman. That's a good woman. And I think it could have been that way. And I believe she did a lot to help him.
How do you feel about reviews, whether they're good or bad?
Reviews, I see them as either constructive or non-constructive criticism. But if you are strong-minded, if you are set in your ways, if you are determined to get your material out, reviews, they could be good or bad. But to me, so far, I haven't gotten any, but those who have spoke well of the book, it was all positive. I did have one newspaper editor to write a review in a publication that had a circulation of about 30,000. But, that was just one time. But for me, I know what I want. So whether I get a review or not, I'm just going to keep going. And I've done radio interviews, and I've talked with people over the phone like I'm talking to you. And I just simply told them, I'm going forward whether I get good reviews or not, because I know what I want. But I think a review can make you or break you, depending on how you feel about your own material. But see, I feel good about my material, and after having written books for over 40 plus years, or 45 years, I'm not gonna let a bad review, stop me. As the song says, one monkey don't stop no show, or even two monkeys. I know what I like to do, and I'm gonna do it, review or no review. And right now, it's getting a lot of publicity right now, so that's all that really matters to me.
What inspires you to write?
What inspired me to write is the joy of putting something in the printed page, because I believe that which is written will last a lot longer than that which is spoken, because that which is spoken can be forgotten. But if it's written down, I can always go back and reference it. It's just like an old love letter you got in high school that you kept for years and years and years, or maybe a letter you got from your husband or wife for years and years. They may be gone. But every now and then you go back and go through those letters. Oh, I remember this. The perfume is still on the letter. Oh, the lipstick is still there. That's what inspires me. It's something that goes a lot further than just talking.
What do you do when you're not writing?
When I'm not writing, I'm in the ministry or I'm working as a painter contractor. And I tell you right now, it's a little slow because of this restriction on travel right now, because a lot of places you can't go. I have sisters in other states that have a lockdown, and they really can't go anywhere. They just call and message one another. It's kind of like being sent to your room for being bad or whatever. But there's nothing you can do about it. But our churches that we attend, some of them are still open. I passed by several today, and there was dozens of cars. I imagine they probably had 200-300 people there. But that's them. I can't speak for them. I believe that the church should be autonomous, and they should decide whether they're going to have service or not. But my son and I, we had service today. I preached, and I preached last Sunday. Just me and my son. We sang songs and preached, and we had a good time. And we probably do it next week too. But I do miss fellowship around my brothers and sisters in Christ. It's just one of those things, but that's just how it is.
What would be, well, does your family support your career as an author?
Yes, my niece have one. My brother has one. Matter of fact, I sent him a copy. He's in Tennessee, and he wrote me and said, "Oh, I saw you on the internet, Google, and all that stuff." He's, "I'm proud." I said, "Yeah, that's good." And my older sister, she lives in Texas. She said, "Oh, yeah, I loved it." And some of my neighbors, they love it. But my son and the rest of them, they like it. They said, "Dad, this is good. This is good." Yeah, my son, he works at a fast food restaurant. He told some of the folks, my dad wrote this book. So I was happy about it.
Okay. How has your writing journey impacted your faith, and what have you learned through this process?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what I've learned. Patience. Patience, because, any man, especially in the ministry, who doesn't have any patience, he's not going to be much of a minister, because you have people who just have different ideas, different backgrounds, and they just haven't learned a lot. And in order to be patient, you have to be like a chef who's going to make a prize cake. You just can't keep opening that stove up because the cake will fall. It'll be done, or it'll be warped. And I don't want to be warped in my life as a minister, as a writer, as a parent, or a brother or a son. I just want to, be wholesome. So in order to be balanced, you just have to have some patience.
And what is your testimony?
Regarding what?
Your life?
My testimony?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just an average man trying to do the best that I can, hoping that, I can tell someone about the good Lord Jesus Christ and they can be the greatest person that God can give them, because
Mm-hmm.
God uses ordinary people. I mean, look at Moses. He stuttered and stammered. David was an adulterer. Peter denied the Lord, but Peter walked on the water. He sank on the water. And Peter was just an ordinary fisherman, just ordinary people. But that's all I am. Just try to humble myself that God will exalt me. And I think if you do that, God will take you all the way to the top of the mountain. And then when you get there, he'll be waiting for you with your favorite dessert, lots of everything. And that's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
That's of everything too.
Okay. What projects are you working on right now?
I am working on the sequel to the song for Zipporah. It is called Moses and Zipporah, a love story, and it's about when they had they've been married for a while. They're getting ready to have their first child, Gershom, and it's almost like the Song of Solomon. All that love they talk about, how he loved her, and he just always grabbing at her like newlywed. They've been married for years, and even the children, Gershom and Eleazar. They said father and mother, they always grabbing each other, always kissing like teenagers. And that father-in-law, he's looking at him and said, can't you keep your hand to yourself? You've been married long enough, you ought to know better. But he can't keep himself, keep his hand to her. And he loves her. She loves him. It just love bug bit him every day. That's all they do. Walking around holding hands, and their in-laws looking at him. And the rest of the folks, I mean, he really loves her. And this goes to a point until he has a little sheep. The sheep is named Rachel, because Zipporah has gotten to the point where she can't have more children. So she wanted a girl, she couldn't. So uh, she got Moses to get her baby a sheep for a pet. And one day the sheep ran off in the woods, and in the mountain got lost. Moses went caught up with him, and there he came across a burning bush. And I guess you know the rest of the story. So that's the sequel. Just a small sample of it. I think you'll like that one too.
Okay. How do you balance the demands of writing with other responsibilities?
Could you say that again?
How do you balance the demands of writing with other responsibilities?
Oh, that's easy. I just simply manage my time wisely. It's just like anything. I have 24 hours a day like everybody else, but there are certain things I have to put to the side. For example, I have a TV in my house, but I don't very seldom watch it. Matter of fact, it's been on probably twice this year, and I looked at it for no more than probably 5 minutes. I normally get my news from the internet, and maybe if I'm at the laundromat and there's a TV on and the news is on about the weather or whatever's going on in my city. But I spend less time on things that's not profitable to me or my family. And I read the Bible. I read every day. I read at least 4 or 5 chapters a day, sometimes more, depending on what I'm reading. And I go through the Bible about every 18 months. I've been through it over a dozen times in my life, a lot more than that. And when it comes to writing, the time that I don't watch television or hang out with my friends, and times like now where everything is restricted, I just concentrate on writing. I just manage my time wisely. I have the same 24 hours as everybody else. So what I do, I just have to manage my time wisely. It's just like living within your means. You can't have everything you want just because you have a job. You have to spend your money wisely and then spend your time wisely. Like the Bible said, you have to redeem the time. And that's what I do. You redeem it.
Okay. I lost my train of thought. I was so engrossed in what you're saying. What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment thus far as in the writing industry?
Oh, wow. See, I've written so many booklets, and I have one that everybody likes, even non-Christians, one entitled How to Lose Weight Using Bible Principles. Matter of fact, the lady who typed it up for me, she was very, very happy about it. She says she's not religious. She doesn't go to church. And she's downright kind of I wouldn't say hostile, but she's not that much of a person who would say anything good about Christian. But when she got a copy of that, she said, I like this. And her boss man, he liked it. He told everybody about the church about it. So I would say that's my greatest accomplishment right there of all my writings. And it's not my favorite one, but I have a lot of them on my website, including the one I just showed you, Song for Support, if you like the digital format. And since a lot of people are not going to be handling mail, or maybe they're scared to handle mail, you can get the digital format on my website at goodbooklets.net. So that's one of my greatest accomplishments right there. The little small things. To me, it's some of the most powerful things. It's like a match. If you get a match and light it, you can start a nice fire and maybe cook outside, or ignite the coals under your grill, whatever you have. But if it's something out of control, one match can start a whole forest fire. But it just, the little things really matter. It's not about writing always a big book the way I wrote with over 340 pages, and I like it. But most people just like little small things that I've done, the little books with 10, 15 pages. But that's one of my biggest accomplishments.
Okay. How can readers get in touch with you?
They can go to my website, goodbooklets.net. They can leave a message there, or they can get a copy of my book from Amazon. And again, the book is right there. A Song for Zipporah by David Harris is there. Or if they want to save money, and I know they do, they can go to Apple, they can go to Barnes and Noble, and wherever you have ebooks. But for those who are ministers, and I know a lot of them out there listening, Sunday school teachers, or maybe you're just a Bible student and want to learn more, go to my website, because I have stuff up there that will be helpful to just about everyone who's listening. It doesn't matter what you like or dislike on my site, but I can promise you will find something that you will like. So go there, goodbooklets.net, and get you some of that material. And if you prefer the paperback, of course, you can go to Amazon, or you can go, you can email me. And if you want what do you call it? If you want a autograph copy, I can send some. I have a small supply that's left, but if you want a paperback, you can get that. But if you want to save money, and I know you do, go to my website, goodbooklets.net.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add before we close?
Yes, I would like to say to those who are listening, don't be discouraged about this virus out there. Just, listen to the authorities. Don't be unwise, because we don't want anybody to get sick. I know some of you want to go to church. I do. But if you read the book of Acts, every church, 90% of them took place in a house. So you can go to the house, or maybe you and your family can have church at the house. That's what we're doing. And just be wise. I know a lot of people, they want to start some conspiracy. Just obey the law, because I don't think the government want to hurt you, because we are the government, other people, for the people, by the people. So stay home as much as you can. But if you have to go out, fine. But just take precautions, because we don't want you to get sick. When the thing pass over, and it will, you can go back to church. But until then, have fellowship with your family, call them up, message them, and stuff like that. Just be safe. Be safe, and I believe God will bless you for it.
I was laughing because me and my book bestie just talked about having church. That's how it started, in the home. And
Amen.
And I was like, we just talked about that. We just talked about that. I would like to thank you for coming in, David, and talking about yourself and your book.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you. And with that being said, I am Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews. Happy reading. Bye, y'all.
All right, bye.